Unit 26. More polis/polit numer kilo micro multipar fob hem/hema itis medical words. MUR, from the Latin noun murus, meaning wall, has produced a modest number of English words. Muralist, a painter of wall paintings. She's enjoying her new career as a muralist, but it's terribly hard on her when she sees her works wrecked by vandals. Any wall painting may be called a mural. Murals have been around since long before the framed painting. Scenic murals date back to at least 2000 BC on the island of Crete. Indoor murals for private homes were popular in ancient Greece and Rome, and many of those at Pompeii were preserved by the lava of Mt. Vesuvius. In the Renaissance, the muralists Raphael and Michelangelo created great wall and ceiling paintings for the Catholic Church, and Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper became one of the most famous of all murals. Mural painting saw a great revival in Mexico beginning in the 1920s, when a group of muralists inspired by the Mexican Revolution, including Diego Rivera, J.C. Orozco, and D.A.C. Queiroz, began taking their intensely political art to the public by creating giant wall paintings, sometimes on outdoor surfaces. Intramural existing or occurring within the bounds of an institution, especially a school. At college, he lacked the time to go out for sports in a serious way, but he did play intramural hockey all 4 years. With its Latin prefix intra, within, not to be confused with between, intramural means literally within the walls. The word is usually used for sports played between teams made up only from students at one campus. Intramural athletics is often the most popular extracurricular activity at a college or university. Extramural existing outside or beyond the walls or boundaries of an organized unit, such as a school or hospital. Hospital Without Walls is an extramural program that offers home healthcare services. Extramural contains the Latin extra meaning outside or beyond, see extra. The walls in extramural are usually those of schools, colleges, and universities, and the word is often seen in phrases like extramural activities and extramural competition, referring to things that involve the world beyond the campus. Some institutions use the term extramural study for what others call distance learning, that is, teaching and learning by means of web connections to the classroom and to videos of lectures. Money that flows into universities to support research, from foundations, government institutes, etc., is usually called extramural income. Immure, to enclose within, or as if within, walls, imprison. In Dumas's famous novel, The Count of Monte Cristo is in fact a sailor who had been unjustly immured in an island prison for 15 years before breaking out and taking his revenge. In Eastern European legend, whenever a large bridge or fort was completed, a young maiden would be immured in the stonework as a sacrifice. It's not certain that such things were actually done. In Poe's grim story A Cask of Amontillado, a man achieves revenge on a fellow nobleman by chaining him to a cellar wall and bricking him up alive. At the end of Verdi's great opera Ida joins her lover so that they can die immured together. But real-life examples of immurement as a final punishment are somewhat harder to find. Polis/polit comes from the Greek word for city. The ancient Greek city-states, such as Athens, Thebes, and Sparta, operated much like separate nations, so all their politics was local, like all their public policy, and even all their police. Politic, 1. Cleverly tactful. 2. Wise in promoting a plan or plan of action. Anger is rarely a politic way to seek agreement, since it usually comes across as rude and self-righteous. Politic behavior in class always requires a respectful attitude toward your teacher. It's never politic to ask for a raise when your boss is in a terrible mood. And once teenagers learn to drive, they quickly learn the politic way to ask for the car, that is, whatever gets the keys without upsetting the parents. As you can see, politic can be used for many situations that have nothing to do with public politics. Politicize, to give a political tone or character to. By 1968, the Vietnam War had deeply politicized most of America's college campuses. Sexual harassment was once seen as a private matter, but in the 1980s and 90s it became thoroughly politicized, with women loudly pressuring lawmakers to make it illegal. So, at the same time, the issue of sexual harassment politicized many women, who began to take an interest in political action because of it. In other words, we may speak of an issue becoming politicized, but also of a person or group becoming politicized. Acropolis, the high, fortified part of a city, especially an ancient Greek city. On the Athenian Acropolis, high above the rest of the city, stands the Parthenon, a temple to Athena. The Greek root akro means high, thus, an acropolis is basically a high city. Ancient cities often grew up around a high point, in order that they could easily be defended. The Greeks and Romans usually included in their acropolises temples to the city's most important gods, so, for example, Athens built a great temple on its acropolis to its protector goddess, Athena, from which the city took its name. Many later European cities cluster around a walled castle on a height, into which the population of the city and the surrounding area could retreat in case of attack, and even South American cities often contain a similar walled area on high ground. Megalopolis, 1. A very large city. 2. A thickly populated area that includes one or more cities with the surrounding suburbs. With its rapid development, the southern coast of Florida around Miami quickly became a megalopolis. A large city named Megalopolis was founded in Greece in 371 BC to help defend the region called Arcadia against the city-state of Sparta. Though a stadium seating 20,000 was built there, indicating the city's impressive size for its time, Megalopolis today has only about 5,000 people. Social scientists now identify 10 megalopolises in the U.S., each with more than 10 million people. The one on the eastern seaboard that stretches from Boston to Washington, D.C., where the densely populated cities seem to flow into each other all along the coast, is now home to over 50 million people. But it's easily surpassed by the Japanese megalopolis that includes Tokyo, with more than 80 million inhabitants.